That's gooey ballyhooly Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking pan.
And any shop girl can be a top girl if she pleases the tired businessman.
Hooray for Hollywood! You may be homely in your neighborhood.
Bum, 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 bum. Be an actor, see Mr. Factor, he'll make your kisser look good.
Go out and try your luck, you may be Donald Duck. Hooray for Hollywood! Hooray for Hollywood! Hooray for Hollywood! That phony, super phony Hollywood! They come from Chillicothe, these Vampaducas, with their bazookas to get their names up in line.
All armed with photos from local rotos, with their hair in ribbons and legs in tags.
Hooray for Hollywood! You have no way of knowing who'll make good.
Perhaps you'll be another Papa Dion, your name in neon. If you get lucky, you could. Yes, buddy, you'll arrive if you can top this 5. Hooray for Hollywood!
Hooray for Hollywood! That woolly, wild and woolly Hollywood!
They hire cowboys and they hang their chaps up and doll their maps up and give them all that they lack. Now ain't it funny? They pay them money. Shows what you can do if your horse can act.
Hooray for Hollywood! They hire fellas whose physiques are good, and then they tell them they're the perfect shape men to act like ape men, and they convince them they should. They make them grunt and yell, oh, and people think they're swell, oh, hooray for Hollywood! It's really got me, hooray, 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 hooray for Hollywood!
Hooray for Hollywood! Welcome to the Geek Radio broadcast. Tonight we have 2 episodes of the Clitheroe Kid. We have The Little Gentleman and Beware of the Neighbor. Then we're going on to My Favorite Husband with Women's Rights Part 1 and Part 2. I made sure these files weren't corrupt, and of course I complained to iTunes about all the other horrendous files that I paid for. So hopefully they'll fix those, and the episodes that you missed or cringed while listening to will be corrected. Anyway, big things going on in Oklahoma tonight, or it's been going on. My thoughts are with everybody there. Please, if you can, donate money or blood to the Red Cross, help those in need. And if you're in Oklahoma and you're listening to this, get freaking undercover. God. All right, so on to Clitheroe Kid, The Little Gentleman.
We present Jimmy Clitheroe as the Clitheroe Kid with Peter Sinclair, Patricia Burke, Danny Ross, and Diana Day in...
James, the Little Gentleman.
Jimmy, I just can't believe it. I'm flabberfounded, dumbgasted. Yeah, I'm completely bewildered.
Thank goodness. For a minute, I thought there was something the matter with you.
Oh, now, no, don't be funny. Is it true what you've just told me?
Yep, Grandad's been left £5,000. Smashing. It works out at 425,000 whipped cream walnuts.
Oh, you're here, Alfie.
Yeah, hey, Susan, Jimmy's just been telling me about your granddad's windbag. Downfall, wind-up.
If you mean his windfall, what about it?
Is it really £5,000?
Well, that's what the solicitor told him on the phone. About 5,000, he said.
Who left him all this money?
An old sailor friend he once knew, a Frenchman who made a lot of money trading out east.
Just think, all that lovely money.
What time are you leaving, Alfie?
Yeah, about £5,000. I mean, about 7:05. I've got to be at the rugby club at 15:15.
Oh, well, I'll walk down on my own then.
Where are you going, Susan?
I'm going to Doris Carter's. I want her to make me a new dress.
Oh, you can have a fur coat now we're rich. And here comes Susan Clitheroe, wearing an off-the-shoulder creation in real goat skin. And I'm sure you're all thinking what I'm thinking. I'll bet it looked better on the goat.
Jimmy, why do you talk such absolute rubbish?
Because I'm only a lad. What's your excuse?
Anybody seen my glasses?
Glasses? Is it opening time already?
My reading glasses. I want to look at the paper.
Jimmy's just been telling me about the money you've had left you.
Has he? I bet he's been telling everybody.
The whole street knows about it by now.
If he's told that Mrs. Butterworth next door, the whole town will know.
Can I come in?
Oh, no. Talk of the devil. Come in, Mrs. Butterworth.
Hello, Mr. Sinclair. Who's going to be a millionaire? You are.
I gather Jimmy's told you then.
Told me he's offered me a job here as permanent cook.
Mrs. Butterworth, I said only mention it to him when he's in a good mood, not when he's sober.
Excuse me, Mrs. Butterworth. I want to have a word with Alfie in the kitchen. Come on, Alfie.
You're right, oh, Susan. I'll see you later, everybody.
Oh, how they take me back to me courting days. My old man used to get me in the back row of the pictures. And when the lights went down...
Jimmy, what are you doing at the moment, son?
Listening to Mrs. Butterworth.
Oh, you should have heard us. Whose rosy lips are these? Yours, love. Whose dainty ears are these? Yours, love. Then a woman in front said, if you find a pair of shoes, they're mine.
Have you a minute, Father? Oh, hello, Florrie.
Hello, Pat. I didn't know you were in.
Oh, I was in the lounge with the vicar. Father, the vicar's heard about your legacy.
And I'll bet I know who told him.
It was when he told us the church needed a new organ.
All right, Jimmy. Just go and tell the vicar we'll be along in a minute.
Right, Mum. I'll help him to pick the hymns for next Sunday. Any 3 out of the top 20.
Father, the vicar's got his cousin, Harvey, staying with him.
Oh, aye? And what about him?
Well, he's the headmaster of a boarding school for boys, a very good one, according to the vicar.
Well, what's it got to do with my money?
He suggests we spend it on a good education for Jimmy.
You mean send him to this boarding school?
Yes, and I think it's a very good idea.
I agree. We scrimped and saved to send our Clive to a good school, and it was amazing. Do you know, in no time at all, he could write home asking for money in 5 different languages.
Well, I must say it sounds interesting. Come on, Pat, let's go and have a word with him.
Yes, come on. Excuse us, Florrie, will you?
Oh, that's all right. I'll wait.
I wonder if the vicar's told him yet, Father.
It's a funny one, this, Vicar. Whose rosy lips are these? Yours, love. And whose
Jimmy. Hello there, Vicar.
Hello, Mr. Sinclair. Nice to see you. Has Mrs. Clitheroe told you of my little suggestion?
Oh, yes, I like it. Have you told Jimmy, Vicar?
Well, yes. In between the jokes.
Hey, Mum, are you really going to send me to this boarding school?
Oh, we might do. Why? Do you like the idea?
Oh, it's smashing. I've read about them places in me comics. It's all playing rugger and going to the tuck shop.
This cousin of yours, Vicar, Mr.
Crabtree, Harvey Crabtree, a highly qualified teacher.
Do you think he'd accept our Jimmy?
That I cannot say. It's not just the fact of your being able to pay the fees. To be accepted, he would first have to be examined.
You mean I've got to take all my clothes off and say 99?
Be quiet, Jimmy. When could he have this examination?
Well, perhaps I could arrange it for tonight, Say sometime after 7 at the vicarage. It'll be a sort of general knowledge test.
Oh, well, that'll be fine. We'll send Jimmy down on the bus.
Alfie's going to the rugby club. He can take me.
Good. I'll arrange it then. Well, James, you really think you'd enjoy going to a public school?
Listen, Vicar. If I have as much fun in a public school as Grandad has in a public house, I'm laughing.
Well, James, I see Alfred brought you on his motorcycle. Has he gone on to the rugby club?
No, he's gone back up the road to look for my stomach. He kept bumping over potholes. I'm not kidding. If I hadn't hung on to his ears, I'd have been off.
Well, I'm surely it wasn't that bad.
It was worse when we swerved in front of a lorry. The driver went mad. Shall I tell you what he called Alfie?
No, don't bother, James.
Oh, it's no bother. He called him a big daft... what's the name of that famous tower in London?
It doesn't matter. Now, is Alfred coming back here?
Why, do you want him to tell you what the man said?
Yes, no. Now, come along. My cousin's in my study, and he hates to be kept waiting.
He shouldn't mind waiting for me. It's not every day he meets a genius.
What a boy. Come along. In here, James. Ah, Harvey, this is Master James Clitheroe.
And about time, too. Keeping me waiting like this, it's not good enough, boy. Most unsatisfactory.
I'm sorry, but I was just telling the vicar.
Don't answer me back. Come over here, boy, with the desk. Come along. Move. That's a double.
Oh, yes, Mr. Crabapple, Pear Tree. I'm coming.
That is it. Now sit, boy, sit.
Vicar, he thinks I'm a fox terrier.
Kindly cease that mumbling. Now, before I give you your test, have you anything you want to ask me?
Well, there is one thing. What's the name of that famous tower in London?
James, that will do.
Well, if you never ask, you never learn.
Jonathan, what is the boy mumbling about?
He wanted to know what the tower in London is. Excuse me, will you?
Now then, boy, here is some paper, pencils, and a list of 35 questions.
Oh, well, 35? Does the vicar know I'm staying the night?
You have 5 minutes for thought, 2 minutes for each question. That means it will take you 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Let me look at 'em. I'll never answer these.
Nonsense, boy. A child of 5 could answer them.
Well, get him in here. I'm going to need some help.
Now, just cut out the joking, boy. I'm going to leave you to it for a few minutes. So, come along, boy. Get to work. Come on now. Come on.
Oh, come on, Pete. It's turned 7 o'clock. Let's go down to the boozer for a few gills.
Oh, I've told you, Higgy, I want to finish painting this hole.
But you don't have to do it yourself. Not now you've got 5,000 smackers to come.
Oh, how did you know it was 5,000?
Your Jimmy told my Ozzy on the phone.
Emily, big mouth. That'll be on the telly next.
He also told Ozzy about going to that fancy boarding school. And I think you're balmy.
Oh, do you?
Ah, well, you don't want to waste all that brass educating that young brat. Spend it on something sensible. Buy a pub.
Now, look, Higgy, it's a good idea sending Jimmy to the boarding school, and then it'll make a gentleman of him.
Pete, you're talking as wet as that paint you're slapping on. Them sort of schools are just a breeding place for snobs. Stuck-up little brats who go all snooty and don't want to know about the family.
Ah, you don't know what you're talking about. Answer that phone for me, will you, Higgy?
OK, but don't say I didn't warn you. Hello, Clitheroe's here.
This is Brainy Jim, the Wonder Boy. Who's that?
It's Mr. Higginbottom speaking.
Oh, of course. I thought I recognised the foghorn, the voice.
You can just cut that out.
You sound in a bad mood, Mr. Higginbottom. Has the price of beer gone up?
Look, what do you want?
Is your Ozzy with you?
No, he's at home, cleaning out his rabbit hutch.
Rabbit Hutch? I thought he lived in the house with you.
I'll belt you when I see you.
Here, give me that phone. What do you want, Jimmy?
Listen, Grandad. I'll have to be quick while old Crabface is out of the room. I want to ask you something.
Well, I'm very busy now. Hurry up.
What's another name for the Northern Lights?
I don't know. Blackpool Illuminations.
What did you say? No, heck, he's coming back.
Hello? Hello? Oh, he's a wee terror, that boy.
I've told you, sending that young whelp to a posh school is a sheer waste of good drinking money.
Oh, is it, Mr. Higginbottom?
What? Oh, hello, missus. I was just saying...
I've been listening to what you have to say. What we do with that money is our own business.
I was only trying to say that you can't make a silk scarf out of a pig's ear.
Look, Jimmy will do very well at that school in spite of what you think.
Look, I'm sorry if I talked out of turn, missus.
Well, that's all right then. Father, you've done enough work for one day. It's time you had a rest.
Pat, I'm just going down to the pub with Higgy.
Look, you missed your afternoon nap today. You can go down to the Rose and Crown later on.
Oh, Pat, I feel fine.
You're going to sit down and have a nap?
Oh, all right. I'll be down about 9, Higgy.
Oh, very well, Pete. I'll see you later. I'll be in Bessie's bar. I've got a new joke for her.
I'll see you later, Higgy.
Right, Father. I'm going out with Mrs. Butterworth. When I get back, I'll wake you up with a cup of tea. I'll be back in an hour.
All right. See you later, Pat. Oh, she's right, though. I could do with 40 winks. Oh, best in the house, this one. Poor old Eggy didn't have get it in the neck. He's all wrong, though. Oh, dear. School will do our Jim a lot of good. He'll be back home like a real little gentleman.
Father, will you please stand straight while I inspect you? Master James will be home soon.
I'm getting fed up with this. Every time Jimmy comes home from that school at Eton on his holidays, I have to be inspected like a bloomin' prize poodle.
Now, you don't want him to be ashamed of us. Remember last time how upset he was when he brought his friend home, Lord Snooty, and you were in your braces.
I won't forget it. He said I was the second gardener and I had to sleep in the greenhouse all week.
It mustn't happen again. Now, let's see. Shoes, clean. Trousers, pressed. Have you washed behind your ears? Yes. Well, that'll do until it's time to change for dinner. Black bow tie and dinner suit, of course. And remember not to ask for brown ale. While Master James is home, we drink nothing but champagne.
All right, all right. When's Jimmy coming?
Master James. Oh, you know how he hates to be called Jim. He says it's common. Well, he'll be just arriving at the station now. Mr. Higginbottom will be waiting with his taxi. I hope he's got his best suit on.
Here's your taxi, my lord. I've put your trunks in it.
Oh, gratis, my man. Here's a sovereign for you. But don't address me as my lord. It is quite sufficient to say sir and touch your forelock.
Much obliged, sir. Thank you kindly, sir.
Oh, these peasants are quaint.
Come on, Clitheroe, get in till I drive you home.
Oh, it's you, Higgis Senior. I am waiting for you to get out, to open the door and dust the seat, my man.
I'll dust your seat in a minute. Just don't come that hoity-toity stuff with me.
I see that since I left you haven't changed. Not even your shirt by the look of it.
What was that?
Your shirt, I like the look of it. I'd better get in.
Yeah, sit down and shut up. You know what's good for you.
Do start, Higgers. Mater and Grandpapa will be waiting for me with impatience.
He should be waiting for you with his boot, you little horror.
Horror, indeed. That reminds me. How is your monster, her son? Higgers Jr., my chum Oswald.
He's all right so long as you keep away from him.
But I've got to see him. Our headmaster says that we chaps of the upper classes must not lose the common touch. And I couldn't touch anyone more common than your son.
One more word from you and you'll get my common fist round your upper-class lug-hole.
Oh, charming.
Was the meal to your liking, James?
Oh, quite adequate, Mater. But next time you will remember the caviar, won't you?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
That caviar's very expensive, Jim.
Pardon?
I mean, James. After all, I've only got £3,000 left.
Grandpapa, it's very vulgar to talk about money. Which reminds me I must have £300 for a polo pony.
Polo pony? Now, look here.
Hello, Mrs. Clitheroe. Susan told me to come in while she goes upstairs to change. She's all wet.
That makes two of you.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, she fell in the gutter. Off the back when I stopped at the crossing a bit quick. Oh, hello, Jim. Sir. James.
Alfie, would you like a cup of tea now?
No, I'll wait till Susan takes her clothes off. Get slacks off. The bare skirt. It changes her whatnots, I mean.
Don't say any more, Alfie. he'll wait for Susan, Pat. I'll have another cup of tea, though, please.
I am sorry, Grandpapa. You haven't time for more tea. You and I will be leaving in half an hour, so you'll have to pack the bags.
Leaving?
Yes, I've been invited to spend the night at Lord Snubwell's home.
But I haven't been invited.
Of course not. But he'll expect me to bring my own manservant, so that's you. Anyway, pack my bag and get your butler's clothes on.
That does it. I won't go. I'm not doing it.
Father, don't annoy James. You must go.
I don't care what happens. I won't be a servant. I won't.
Stop, Father. Please. Stop it. Stop shouting. Wake up.
No. Oh, Pat, what is it?
Well, you were shouting in your sleep. Here, have this cup of tea.
Oh, what a dream. I could do with a large whiskey, never mind tea. Oh, dear. Pat, I dreamt our Jim was at college and he was a terrible snob, and I was his butler and...
All right. It was only a dream.
But maybe it's a warning, like...
Oh, don't be ridiculous. That busybody Higginbottom put the idea into your head. College will make a man of our Jim. We'll be proud of him.
You're right, of course, Pat. It'll be money well spent.
Oh, I hope Jim's doing the test all right for the headmaster. He must be nearly finished by now.
Oh, he'll be all right. He's a smart boy.
Oh, just think, Father. Our Jim at college, growing up to be a real gentleman, talking like a BBC announcer.
Well, I think he's a rotten load of old codswallop.
How dare you talk to me like that, boy? Hey, what?
Well, how can he give me none out of 100? I did every question. I deserve some marks.
Yes, upon your rear. I suspect that you have been deliberately facetious with some of your answers.
Oh, is that good?
No, I'm wrong. You are a moron.
I'm not. I'm Church of England. Anyway, what's wrong with me answers?
Well, I should just take one or two at random. Yeah, question. What did Hannibal cross with his elephants, and why? Your answer. Hannibal crossed pigs with his elephants.
That's right, to get big pork chops.
And history. Charles II followed James I. Who followed Charles II? The answer is not Nell Gwyn. This test has been a complete waste of time.
That's what I said. Ask me some proper questions like, how do you make stink bombs? Or a cake last? How do you know
Just a minute, boy. How do you make a cake last?
Take small bites.
Oh, get out. Get out of this room.
It was only a joke. It's not my fault if I can't do none of the rotten questions.
What did you say, boy? You couldn't what?
I can't do none of them questions.
Oh, your grammar. I cannot do any of the questions.
Well, if you can't do them, what chance have I got?
I mean, you must not say I can't do none of the questions.
Why don't you want the vicar to know you're ignorant? Well, I'll keep your secret.
What are you talking about?
Them questions, what I can't do none of.
What you can't do none of?
Them questions I keep telling you about. Oh, don't some mothers have them?
Look, it's no good hanging about in the street. You'll have to go in the house sooner or later.
Well, the later the better. If only Grandad was at the pub, I could sneak up to bed and pretend to be ill.
You'll be ill when he finds out you've been expelled from the school before you got in it.
Are you sure he's in the house?
Yes, you sent me to look in the window, didn't you? He was showing a letter to your mum.
Oh, I'll bet the 5,000 quid's arrived. He'll be waiting in to tell me the good news and pat me on the head with a hammer.
Now, look, Jim, the only thing you can do is tell him the truth and say you're sorry.
Look, Father, the only thing you can do is tell Jim the truth and say you're sorry.
But, Pat, he set his heart on going to that boarding school. Going to be terrible shock when Jimmy finds out we can't send him.
I finished the dishes, Mother. Mother? Oh, what's the matter? Is something wrong?
Your grandfather's just had a letter from the solicitors about his legacy.
Oh, don't tell me that man didn't leave you 5,000 after all.
Oh, Pierre left me 5,000 all right, but he's French.
Well?
He left me 5,000 francs, not pounds.
Oh, dear.
It's something around £400, which means there's no hope of keeping our promise to Jimmy to send him away to school.
Well, I'll just have to make up to him somehow.
Come in, Alfie, but leave the door open for a quick getaway.
Come in, son. Hello, Alfie. Sit down a minute, will you?
Yeah, hello, Mrs. Clitheroe, Mr. Sinclair, Susan. Yeah, I'll sit here in the corner and referee. Oh, the courts, I mean, and hang my coat up on the chair.
Well, Jim,
Not very.
I've got some bad news too. What was that?
Nothing. I've got some bad... You've got some bad news to tell me?
Yes, son. Your granddad has only been left a few £100, not 5,000, so we can't afford to send you to that posh school.
What?
Hey, that's funny, because the headmaster just expelled him behind me, like.
Sorry, Alfie. I thought it was the chair. Yes, the headmaster just explained what I needed to go to his school.
Ah, blooming miracle.
Well, I know it must be a terrible disappointment to you, Jimmy.
Yes, it's a bit of a blow, Grandad.
But it can't be helped, son.
No, just have to be big about it and forgive you.
It's not their fault. Forgive them, indeed.
Now, that will do, Susan. I think Jimmy's taken it very well, and I'll do whatever I can to make it up to him.
Oh, there's no need for that, Grandad. Although, since I'm not going away, I could do with a new bike.
Well, you little...
Watch it, Alfie.
You'll have the bike.
With a 4-speed gear, dynamo horn and racing handlebars.
Yes, of course.
Well, that's settled then.
Of course, my roller skates are pretty old now.
Well,
Mind, I don't expect new ones. Just 'cause you've had to break your promise about the school that I was all set to go to.
Father, can he have the skates as well?
All right, skates as well.
Well, I think he's very lucky.
Yeah, you're not kidding. If he fell in the river, he'd come up with a salmon in his mouth.
With your mouth, it could be a whale.
All right, Mother, I'll see who it is.
You know Charlie Thompson, Grandad?
Yes.
His dad bought him a model aeroplane with a real motor in it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he must think a lot about his son, eh? Just like you did about me when you were going to send me to school.
Now, Jimmy, Grandad's getting you a bike and roller skates.
Oh, I'm very grateful. I mean, I don't want Grandad to worry about me. I'll have me bike and roller skates to go to my ordinary school on.
You're overdoing it.
But it'd be smashing if two fellas had model aeroplanes. Then they could race each other. Couldn't I?
Well, son, I'll have to think about this.
Mother, and you, Grandad, the vicar has called and I think you'd better have a word with him. He's in the lounge.
Look, he can wait for the weekly collection. We're busy, making up me Grandad's mind to buy me an aeroplane.
Now then, Jimmy, I'll come in and see him, Susan.
You and Grandad had better come. It's not the collection. It's about Jimmy's test with the headmaster this evening.
Oh, is it? Well, we'd better go in, Pat.
Oh, hey, Grandad, before you go in there, could I have the money for the bike?
I haven't got 20-odd pounds on me.
Well, £2 for the skates, then.
This silly, Jimmy, the shops are closed. Come along, Father.
Right, Pat. We'll settle it all when I come back, Jim.
Well, just give me £2 for chocolate, then.
Oh, well, clever fellow. What now?
Can you lend me fourpence?
What for?
To nip outside and phone the police. When Grandad comes back in here, it's going to be murder.
Those involved with the Clitheroe Kid this week were Peter Sinclair as grandfather, Patricia Burke as mother, Danny Ross as Alfie Hall, Diana Day as Susan, and Tony Melody as Mr. Higginbottom, with Molly Sugden, Basil Jones, and John Graham. The recorded program was written by James Casey and Frank Roscoe, produced by James Casey, and starred Jimmy Clitheroe as the Kid himself.
That was The Little Gentleman. Now it's time to beware of the neighbor. There you go, The Clitheroe Kid. Second episode.
Beware of the neighbor. one more plank and the old log cabin will keep out all the Apaches and Blackfeet for miles around.
Jimmy, where are you?
Is that Calamity Jane shouting for Wild Jim Hickok? I'm in the range next door.
More of your silly games of bang, bang, you're dead.
You're not Calamity Jane. You're a Blackfoot squaw. Although on second thoughts, you're more of a dirty neck.
Well, don't be so childish. Mrs. Higginbottom's just phoned to say Ozzy can't come to play with you. He has a bad cold in the head.
Well, it's his own fault. Yesterday he was wearing Wellingtons, and all the way to school he kept jumping in puddles and splashing me and Charlie Thompson. So as soon as we got to school, Charlie grabbed his arms, I grabbed his legs, and we sat him in a fire bucket. Still, you wouldn't think that would give him a cold in the head, would you?
You'll get into serious trouble one of these days. You shouldn't be over there anyway, playing on someone else's lawn.
Lawn? You mean cabbage patch? Anyway, the house has been empty for months.
Well, that doesn't mean to say you can build a dog kennel in the back garden.
Dog kennel? This is a cowboy's log cabin.
Oh, you are an infant. I can't waste any more time with you. I'm going round to see Mary Thomas for a minute before Alfie comes for me.
Don't worry, if Alfie doesn't come for you, the van will. Oh, sisters. Why couldn't me mum have asked for 2 sons? Or just me and a pup? Oh, well, I'd better get this last plank in. Ow! Ooh, me blooming thumb. Ooh, that's Ozzy's fault. If he'd been here, he'd have held the nail and I'd have hit him. Ooh, you definitely need a mug to help you with this sort of thing.
Hello, Jimmy.
Oh,
What are you doing?
I found one. Hello, Alfie. Come round the back into our garden. I've got a ladder here.
Oh, you're here. What are you doing in next door's garden?
Building a log cabin. My granddad won't let me build it in ours. Come in and give me a hand.
I can't. I've got to meet Susan.
Oh, she's just gone to see Mary Thomas. I've only one plank to nail. We'll be finished before she gets back.
Oh, all right, then. I'll climb over the fence.
Oh, watch the ladder. There's a rung missing.
You are?
I said, careful. There's a rung missing.
Which one's missing?
The one.
I banged me funny bone.
Well, when you finish laughing, climb over.
You'll laugh on the other side of your face if I do.
Hey, shut up. I can hear footsteps. It's our Susan coming back.
Oh, good. I'll go in the house.
No, tell her you're here. Shout around the back while I get my lasso ready.
You are?
Shout her.
Oh, all right. We're here, sweetheart, round the back.
Now to rope me a steer.
Oh, good evening. I'm looking for Mrs. Oh, what's that? Oh, take this rope off.
Oh, sorry, mister. I didn't mean to lasso your throat. I thought it was my sister's. Alfie, he's going blue. Hey, rub his ears.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mister. You thought you were a girl.
Oh, I can't get my breath.
Well, I'll tell you what, you breathe and I'll shove your chest in and out.
Oh! Get off me, you ruffian. Stop squeezing me. I'm not an accordion.
What are you doing out there?
Oh, just having a game, Mum.
Well, you'll have to stop now. Your tea's ready. Oh, Alfie, is this gentleman a friend of yours?
Friends? He's no friend of mine, the lout. I came round here to see a Mrs. Clitheroe, and this mod lured me round here to attack me.
Alfie, what have you been up to?
I thought it was Susan. I said, he'd come round here, sweetheart. And when she came round, it was a fella. Jim. Well, he isn't my sweetheart. Oh, heck. I'll go in and wait for him. My real sweetheart. No, Susan, I mean.
I'm glad I'm not his sweetheart. He always attacks her with a rope. You ask me, he's kinky.
Hello, I'm sorry there's been a misunderstanding. You said you were looking for me?
Yes, I'm the estate agent for this house next door, and it's been let furnished, and the new tenant will be moving in tomorrow.
What? Somebody's moving into my ranch?
As a matter of fact, that's why I'm here, Mrs. Clitheroe. My assistant told me that a boy had been using this garden as a playground, and I really think it should be tidied up. And I would like your boy to remove that wooden contraption he's built.
That's a log cabin, if you don't mind.
Well, whatever it is, you move it.
Oh, heck, what does anybody want to move in there for? Couldn't you talk him out of it, mister? Tell him the house has got worms.
You mean woodworm?
Woodworms, glowworms, any blinking worm. Tell him the house is falling down.
Don't be so silly. It's a very solid house.
Well, I could loosen a few bricks. Oh, come on, Alfie, hurry up. I've got another load of rubbish here for you.
Oh, just you hang on a minute. I want to rest. You carry some for a change.
Now, Luke, it was agreed that I did the collecting and you did the carrying.
Who agreed?
I did. Oh, all right, have a rest for a minute. And while you're resting, mend the fence.
You. I'm doing nothing for 10 minutes. I'm going to have a break.
Oh, you'll have a break. If this fella gets here before you finish tidying up, he'll break your neck.
What do you mean?
Well, you heard what the estate agent said. Your sweetheart. He said that the new tenant is a lumberjack from Canada, Mr. Ironside. He'll probably pick up an axe, shout, "Timber!" and chop your head off.
The man said Mr. Ironside's a very nice fella. Yeah, anyway, he's not a Canadian. He comes from round here. He's just been in Canada for 4 years.
Hey, I wonder why he's coming back here. Do you think they've run out of trees in Canada?
I don't know why he's coming back, but I wish he'd stop there when he finds out he's living next door to you.
I say, hello there.
Hey, Jimmy. Who's that?
Well, it's too late to be the first cuckoo.
Pardon me, is this not 43 Lilac Avenue, the empty house is to let? You're here, so it's not empty, but it's 43 on the door. I mean, have I come to the wrong place?
Yes, the doctor's surgery is just up the road.
You shut up. Well, you're at the right place, but you're wrong, because it's 43, but it isn't. It's a let.
Oh, you mean I've left it too late?
Oh, no, he's a very good doctor. He'll put you right.
Doctor, but I don't need it. I see, yes, it's a joke.
No, it's Alfie. Look, mister, this house has been let to a lumberjack from Canada. A big, tough timber chopper. Chews trees and spits cricket stumps. Mr. Ironside, so I'd clear off, because if he catches you trying to pinch his home, you'll need 2 doctors.
I am Mr. Ironside.
Because Mr. Ironside will pick you up with one hand and... You?
J.B. Ironside, I've rented this house.
You mean you're the big hefty lumberjack who chews cricket bats, stumps, trees?
Well, I did work in a lumberjack's camp for 3 years, but I didn't chew the trees. I mean, chop the trees. I cooked them. I was a cook.
And we've been clearing your garden up because we were scared that you'd... Alfie, go and fetch the rubbish back.
Hey, don't be daft.
Oh, I say, have you been tidying up for me? Well, that's jolly decent of you. Helping a complete stranger. You must be too jolly nice.
Twits.
Twits. No. Chaps. But I can't let you do this for nothing. I feel I ought to offer you some kind of recompense.
You what?
Money. I mean, could I offer you 5 shillings each?
Oh, no, well, we couldn't take any... Go on, me lad.
Sorry, Alfie. Did I catch you with the rake? Oh, no, Mr. Ironside, we couldn't take all that money off you.
It's only 10 shillings.
It's £1. There's 2 of us. Oh, no, we couldn't take money off you. Could we, Alfie?
Ah, of course not. I don't want 10 bob.
No, you see, Alfie's too shy to take money off you.
Oh, very well, then.
But I'm not shy. I'll take it as well.
Jimmy, what have you been doing all this time?
Helping our new neighbor. Happy Harry Copperton. Mr. Ironside, I've been helping him. Running his errands and all that.
Oh, how much for?
Nothing clever. It's his first day. I did his errands free.
Oh, that was kind of you, Jimmy. And did you pull down those old planks you nailed together? I mean, your log cabin.
No, I told Mr. Ironside it was a tool shed and flogged it to him for 5 bob.
You're learning to be a real wee money grabber.
Aye, you're right there. Teacher.
All right. Now, that'll do. Here, what's this lumberjack fella like? I haven't met him yet.
Oh, he's a jolly nice chap. He's not much of a lumberjack, though. This morning he sprained his wrist sharpening a pencil. Anyway, you'll be able to see him for yourself when he comes round.
Is he coming round here?
Yes, Mum. You and me Grandad said we had to look after our neighbour, so I asked Mr. Ironside to come round for his tea.
Oh, Jimmy, you shouldn't have done that.
Oh, not without warning anybody.
Oh, it's all right. I've warned him about you. He's going to wear his dark glasses. Oh, that'll be old Tin Ribs now. I'll let him in.
Look, Jimmy, as soon as you bring him in, go down to the grocer's for a large tin of peaches. We better have a sweet.
Right you are, Mum.
I'll give that boy a good talking to when this fella leaves.
Oh, come in, Mr. Ironside. Go in the living room there. The banquet is all prepared.
Very well, James. After you.
Oh, I'm going to the grocer's for me, Mum. We're going to have a sweet because you're here.
Oh, I'll murder him. Come in here, Mr. Ironside.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello there. So you're Ironside the lumberjack? I mean...
oh, no, not a lumberjack, actually, a cook. And you must be Mrs. Clitheroe.
I'm Mr. Sinclair.
Oh, no, I mean the lady. I mean, she must be.
Yes, I'm Mrs. Clitheroe, and this is my daughter, Susan.
Oh, how do you do? I must say it's a great pleasure to meet you all.
How do you do, Mr. Ironside? Mother, I'll just go and see to the food.
Right, yeah, love.
I must say, being invited to tea so soon was quite a surprise.
It was a bit of a shock to us as well.
I beg your pardon?
Father means that we weren't sure that you were coming. Do sit down. Tea won't be long.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, not in that chair. It's mine.
Oh, Father. Mr. Ironside's our guest.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll sit somewhere else.
Oh, well, don't worry, Mr. Ironside. I'm sorry. But you get a favourite chair. You know how it is.
Oh, indeed I do. I remember in the lumber camp I had a favourite hammock. You see, the men slept rough, the lumberjacks, that is, on the floor, and they were pretty heavy drinkers, and it wasn't so far for them to fall. But I liked to be off the ground because of the squirrels.
Squirrels?
Yes, the squirrels. They were always gnawing away, hiding their little nuts. They once demolished a complete cabin. Oh, perhaps I'm confusing them with beavers. Anyway, I assure you I do understand, Mr. Sinclair.
Eh? Oh, aye. Very interesting, Mr. Ironside.
Oh, no, please. Do call me J.B.
J.B.? Oh, you can't call a man J.B. What's your name?
Julian Basil.
Aye, well, all right, J.B.
It's, what are you talking about, hammocks? J.B. Father was in the Navy.
Oh, really? Well, you should have a tin wag with my old pater sometime.
Was he in the Navy?
Oh, no, as a matter of fact, he was a lighthouse keeper. Very funny life, you know. He only got home 3 days a month. When I was 9 years old, he was still asking me what my name was.
Yes, I suppose he didn't see much of you then.
Well, he saw rather less than you would think. You see, he never drank on duty. Very strict about that, he was. So he had to do a month's drinking on his 3 days off. Of course, when I was a toddler, I never knew he was tight. I just thought he was stupid.
He sounds quite a character.
Oh, he's all right now, except sometimes, in the middle of the night, he wakes up shouting, "The light's gone out! The light's gone out!"
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, it's quite all right, really. My mother just hops out of bed, walks round the bed, flashing a torch in his eyes, and he goes off to sleep like a baby.
I've had enough of that fella Ironside. He's nothing but an interfering nuisance, and I feel like telling him so.
Well, I must admit, Father, he does pop in here at all sorts of odd hours.
I know. In 1 week, he's borrowed milk, sugar and cornflakes. He's used our phone 3 times, and he's been in twice for his tea. I'll bet he's been in this house here more times than the rent man.
Well, I know, and he's had more luck.
Now, that'll do. You just keep quiet and read your comics or something.
Oh, I can't read me comics. You've still got them in your bedroom. And I hope you haven't made a mess of the Tiny Tots crossword again.
Oh, Jimmy, find something to read and keep quiet.
Oh, all right. I'll have a look at the Radio Times. Now, what's on the telly tonight? Oh, heck. Going for a song. Think I'll go for a walk. Well, this delicate china bowl that I'm holding must be worth every penny of £3,000 because of its perfect condition. Oops! Crash! Who'll give me 3 and a tanner for these bits of pot?
Will you keep quiet?
Oh, all right, Grandad. Hey, there's amateur boxing on tonight. Hey, you like that, don't you?
Quite a minute, Jimmy. I think I can hear somebody coming up the garden path, and the front door's open.
Well, if it's jovial Julian again, I'm ready for him. It's about time that squirrel found another tree.
Pardon me. Am I interrupting anything?
Oh, not at all. Come in and give us a knock, Mr. Squirrel.
Jimmy. I see. You're having a little jest on my expense. Well, as I always say, let us laugh today, because tomorrow we might be gone.
Well, I'm sure we'd miss you.
Was there something you wanted, Mr. Ironside?
Oh, yes. If it wouldn't be too much trouble, I wonder, could you warm my meat pie in your oven?
You what?
Oh, you see, I've got a jammed shilling in my meter, and I've run out of gas.
Ooh, that'll be the day.
What was that, James?
I said it'll be a big day for the Army boxing team if they win the match on the telly tonight.
Oh, yes, I saw that in the paper. I must watch that. You know, cheer on the old Army boxing team.
I wouldn't have thought you'd be interested in boxing. I'd have thought you were more for hopscotch.
Yes, you seem full of it tonight, Mr. Sinclair.
It will be later on when the pub opens.
Don't you be cheeky, Jimmy. I'll just go and put your pie in the oven, Mr. Ironside.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Clitheroe.
Hey, were you in the Army boxing team, Mr. Ironside?
Well, no, not actually in it. I was the assistant to the trainer.
He means he carried the bucket.
Well, I don't suppose you'd be interested in the noble art, Mr. Sinclair. I mean, being Scottish, I suppose you went in for throwing that long pole about.
I presume you're referring to tossing the caber.
Oh, yes, of course, that's it. Oh, it seems rather a childish game to me. Still, you Highland folk have some naive ideas about sport. I'm surprised you don't play football with a haggis.
Now, look here, Julian Basil.
Grandad, watch your temper. Your neck's going all blotchy.
Shut up, Jimmy. For your information, J.B., I was a boxing champion in the Merchant Navy.
Oh, fancy that. No, I always used to look forward to our scraps with the old red duster. We always used to give the Merchant Navy a royal shellacking.
Is that a fact? Well, I'll tell you something, J.B.
Seconds out, round 1.
The only army boxers I ever met were a lot of loudmouth windbags that couldn't knock the skin off a rice pudding.
Oh, Rowley, what are you suggesting?
He wants a good, clean fight, no holding, no rabbit punches, and no hitting below the sporran. Oh, good, Alfie, you're here. I want you to help me. It's urgent. Come in the Snuggers retreat.
The what?
The front room here.
All right, stop pulling me. I'm coming.
Alfie, I'm absolutely broke.
Look, I told you, you're getting nothing off me. Go round and see your new mug next door. Old spare ribs.
That's just it. Me granddad's falling out with him, and he won't let me go and run his errands. Here I am, living next door to an oil well, and they won't even let me fill me lamp.
Oh, there you are, Alfie. I just want a word with you.
Well, you'll have to come back later. Alfred and me are having a private discussion, man to man. Or whatever he is.
Don't say shut up. Yeah, hello, Susan. Are you not ready for the dance yet? Am I early?
No, it's my fault. I washed my hair and I can't get it dry.
Well, hang it on the clothesline.
That's enough from you. I'm sorry, Alfie, but I'll be at least a half an hour.
Ah, well, I don't mind waiting till you've made yourself look glamorous.
If you wait that long, we'll be charging you bed and breakfast.
Oh, you and your childish jokes. I'll be as quick as I can, Alfie.
Jimmy, you know, sometimes I feel right sorry for you, Susan. I couldn't imagine anything worse than having you for a brother.
Ooh, I could, having you.
You're asking for a clout.
I'm sorry, Alfie. I like you, really. I think you're very clever.
Oh, me?
Yeah. I mean, you're good at fixing things.
Am I?
Yeah. What about when Susan's hairdryer wouldn't work? You had it fixed in no time. It was just bad luck that instead of blowing, it sucked. Should have disappeared if her ears hadn't been so big.
Now, look, don't start being funny.
No, I mean it, Alfie. There's something I want you to fix for me, and it's dead simple. A kid of 4 could do it. So I'll go and get one, and he can show you how it's done.
I warned you.
I'm only kidding. This is something you'll enjoy doing. You'll be patching up a quarrel and making everybody happy, especially Jim.
Boxing starts in 15 minutes, and I can't get a picture on the TV set.
Well, perhaps you've got fluff in your vertical hold.
Well, it was working all right last night. Jim, you watch the screen while I lean over and try this knob at the back. Here. Here, Jim, is anything happening?
Yes? The seat of your pants is splitting.
Oh, I give up. I was really looking forward to that boxing match.
You'll be sorry to miss it, won't you, Grandad?
Ah, well, that has ruined my evening.
Fear not. Cinderella Sinclair shall see the boxing tonight.
What do you mean?
Mr. Ironside will have it on. I'll go and ask him to invite you round.
You'll do no such thing. I've got my pride, you know.
Oh, never mind your pride. You'll soon forget that when you've called the referee a few rude names. I'll go and ask him.
Jimmy, come back. You hear me? Come back. Come back,
I
Jimmy.
can't hear you. Tell me when I come back. So far, so good. Now all I've got to do is to butter up old JB, and I'll be back in the money again. Oh, he's coming up the path.
Oh, hello, Jane. Is your grandfather still in the house?
Yes, he is.
Oh, good, because I thought I'd come round and apologize, see if we could smoke the pipe of peace.
Oh, Jim, Indian Scout, take iron horse in wigwam, to meet big chief howling bagpipes.
Oh, all right, then. Me come, agag.
He's in the living room here.
Oh, you're back, Jim. I suppose that Canadian Charlie was out.
Canadian Charlie has come round to apologize.
You what? Oh,
I just popped round to see if, to borrow James's metaphor, we couldn't put our heads together and bury the hatchet.
Oh, heck, they're going to scalp each other.
Now, I'm very sorry that we had the disagreement, Mr. Sinclair. I apologize.
Oh, well, if you put it that way, well, I suppose I was a wee bit hasty as well.
Well, no hard feelings then?
None at all, J.B.
Well, now you're pals again. What about the boxing match on the telly, Mr. Ironside?
I beg your pardon?
Young Jimmy had the idea you might invite me round to your place to watch the television. You see, our set's not working.
Oh, well, of course, nothing would give me greater pleasure. There's just one snag.
What's that?
My set isn't working either.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, it doesn't matter, really. We can find something else to do. How about a nice wee walk down to the Rose and Crown?
Oh, well, as a matter of fact, I was going down there later on.
Well, it's a good pint of beer, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I was only going to get some cooking sherry for my trifle.
Oh, well, that's not quite what I had in mind.
You don't have to go anywhere. You can watch the boxing here. I'll just have a word with Alfie Lonely Heart in the front room. Make yourself comfortable. The first punch-up will be on in a couple of minutes. Well, it's all fixed. Normal service will be resumed as soon as the steeplejack gets up his ladder again.
You what?
Alfie Hall is fixing the aerial. Grandad, see if the picture comes on.
Well, just a moment. Didn't somebody fall?
No, only Alfie. He's used to it. He spends more time on the floor than he does on his feet.
Well, perhaps he's hurt himself.
Oh, no, he's very clever. He never hurts himself. He has a knack of falling on his head.
Look, we'd better go up and see what's happened to him.
There's no need. Here he is with my mum and Susan.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear me. Oh, I feel awful.
Alfie, what's happened?
Oh, it was terrible. I landed on my back and sprained my ankle.
Help me to get him onto this chair, Susan.
All right, Mother, careful now.
Oh, I think he should have some fresh air.
Yeah, stick his head out of the window.
Be quiet, you young rascal. Alfie's told me all about your little scheme.
Alfie,
What were you doing up that ladder?
Putting the plug back in the aerial.
Oh, yes, he pulled the plug out earlier. Well, that's why the set wouldn't work.
Alfie Hall. Fancy you doing a thing like that.
You know very well you told him to do it. So your granddad would have to go next door to watch with Mr. Ironside.
You little... No, Mr. Sinclair, I don't wish to interfere.
Good.
But after all, James was doing it with the best of motives.
Good lad.
I mean, charity does begin at home. And also in the homes of one's neighbors.
Exactly. And that's why I did it.
Very well. You want to help your neighbour, do you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do things for people.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Run errands for Mr. Ironside.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. That's what you can do. Run all Mr. Ironside's errands from now on.
Oh, thanks, ma'am.
For nothing.
Oh, blooming heck, ma'am.
Well, clever boy, I hope that's taught you a lesson.
It has. When you've got a job that a 4-year-old kid can do, never give it to a grown-up twit. I thought you might like to know that me grandad and Mr. Ironside went to the Rose and Crown after the boxing, and me grandad must have put something in JB's cooking sherry, because on the way back, they woke me up, and I heard him shouting, "You're no bad fella for assassinate, JB." You're quite a nice old bagpipe squeezer yourself. It's been a very jolly evening, even if we have had to walk home in the rain. Rain! What rain? It hasn't rained tonight. So I looked out of my window, and what do you think I saw? Mr. Ironside walking up the street with me granddad on one side of him and the corporation water cart on the other.
And that was the Clitheroe Kid. Coming up next is Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, and My Favorite Husband. The first one I will be airing tonight, am I even near the microphone? Can you hear me? Is Women's Rights Part 1. This is actually one of the episodes I have not heard yet. So I'll be joining you in listening to this, possibly for you also as well, for the first time. So here you go. My Favorite Husband, Women's Rights Part 1. Or Part 1. I'd say the part in French also, but I don't know what that is. So, all right, here you go. Enjoy.
We delay the start of our regularly scheduled program. We delay the start of our next program to bring you a bulletin from CBS News. John L. Lewis has ordered all soft coal miners back to work immediately. A new contract has been signed with the coal operators. This bulletin from CBS News. We continue now with our scheduled program.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, it's the Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, transcribed and brought to you by the Jell-O family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O pudding. Yum, yum, yum. Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now, Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. As we look in on the Coopers, it's Wednesday evening, and they're getting ready to go out to dinner with Mr. Atterbury and his wife, Iris. As usual, George is dressed on time and is going in to see how Liz is doing.
Let's see that green dress, Katie. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Liz, you're still in your slip.
George, I just discovered something terrible. I
haven't a thing to wear. You know, Liz, I'm getting a little tired of that song. Why does it cost me so much each month to keep you in nothing?
Mrs. Cooper, now is the time. Not yet, Katie.
Why can't you ever be ready on time?
And how long have the Atterburys been waiting?
Well, they're not here yet. Unfortunately, Mr. Atterbury is also married to a woman.
Well, it's time now, isn't it, Mrs. Cooper?
No.
Hey, what are you doing, teaching Katie to tell time? Now, Liz, put on a dress and get downstairs. That's an order.
Oh, now is the time, Katie. George, I don't have to take that kind of talk from you anymore.
Neither do I.
What?
Apparently, you haven't heard that Congress is passing a law giving women equal rights with men.
Yeah.
Katie.
Oh, women's rights. Is that up again? Well, forget it.
Oh, no. The 22nd Amendment is going through if we have to fight it to the finish. And we will.
Yeah. Put up your dukes.
Katie, now don't get carried away. I'll handle this.
You'd better go downstairs now, Katie.
As an employee, yes, sir. As a woman?
Now get dressed, Liz.
Yes, master. You better enjoy your power while you've got it, Mr. Man. It won't be long now.
Oh, it won't?
No, sir. When Congress passes that amendment, I'll no longer be an enslaved woman. I'll be a free man.
Well, it'll be interesting. Maybe you and I can go out some night and pick up a couple of girls.
Very funny. Zip my dress, please. George, did you know that in certain states there are jobs I couldn't hold because I'm a woman?
No. What, for instance?
In some states, I couldn't work in a blast furnace. In others, I couldn't work in a bowling alley. And right here in our own state, I can't shine shoes.
Shameful.
It's true. Wait a minute. I want to read you something in this magazine. Here it is. It is time the women of the world stop being chattel. Arise, assert yourselves, and soon the country will resound to the ringing of the Liberty Bell, ringing out for women's freedom. There it is! To arms! To arms!
Liz, that's the doorbell.
Oh. Who is it, Katie? Mr. Atterbury and his whimpering slave.
Now, that'll be enough from both of you. Hi, Mr. Atterbury. Hello, Iris.
Liz girl, George boy.
Hi, folks.
George boy, Liz girl.
Come on in.
What was that you had on the radio when we came up to the door? It sounded exciting.
Radio?
Yeah. Someone was saying, to arms, to arms.
Oh, that was Pauline Revere. Liz is off on a kick about women's rights. I suppose you've been getting it too, Mr. Atterbury.
Well, let's go eat. We're late.
Women's rights?
Sure, Iris. You know, that amendment they're putting through Congress. We're going to be free, Iris. Free!
We are?
You must have read about it. It's been in the news for weeks.
Well, let's go eat. We're late.
Oh, that explains it. For the last month, somebody's been cutting things out of our paper.
Why, Mr. Atterbury.
Well, let's go eat. We're late.
Rudolph.
Just trying to keep you from getting any silly ideas, Lotus Bud.
Tell me more about this, Liz.
Well, it means new freedom for women, Iris. We're going to be equal to men. We'll be able to do things we've never been able to do before.
Hooray! Like what?
Oh, you stick with Liz and you can be a pin girl at the bowling alley.
Or you can work in a blast furnace.
All right, fellas.
I even heard on the radio that women will be allowed to drive on the same side of the street as men.
Don't pay any attention to them, Iris. From now on, women aren't going to be just women anymore. We're going to be people. Hooray! Once the House of Representatives passes this bill, there will no longer be any difference between men and women. Hey, that doesn't sound right, does it?
not rush into this, Liz.
Well, I guess it means legally. The women of the world are at last throwing off their chains. Iris, this is a revolt.
You hear that, Rudolph? From now on, I'm revolting.
Don't end
I didn't say anything.
Get that smirk off your face.
Well, shall we start it right here in our own home?
Start what?
Iris and I want equal rights with you men.
Yeah.
You might as well get used to it. We want the same treatment as though we were men.
All right. Okay, it's fine with me. How about you, Mr. Atterbury?
Fine. Let's go to dinner, George.
Okay.
How about you fellas?
We're coming.
I made a reservation in the green room.
Oh, I love it there. George, my coat's in the hall closet.
Oh, that's nice. Come on, Mr. Atterbury.
George, I said my coat was in the closet.
Well, go get it, Buster. You're a big boy now.
Oh.
I hope we won't be too late to get a table.
What's up, laughing boy?
I just remembered a story I heard at the office today. Oh, it's a pip. Come here, everybody. Come here.
Well, what is it?
Well, two fellows, see, worked in a lumber camp, and they'd been there about 6 months.
I don't like the way this sounds, Rudolph.
Yeah, is it fit for mixed company?
Mixed company, I should say not. Luckily, there's just the four of us boys.
Now, listen.
I'm glad there aren't any ladies present. Go ahead, Mr. Atterbury.
Yeah. Well, after they worked there about 6 months, they went into town. See, one of them.
Come on, let it go.
Yeah, we're late.
Here, George, help me out with my coat.
What?
Help me out with my coat.
Mr. Atterbury, did I ever help you on with your coat?
Never.
Sorry, Liz, can't touch it. Equal rights, you know.
All right, George Cooper, go ahead, have your fun. But there's such a thing as common politeness. Open the door.
Mr. Atterbury.
Yeah, thank you, George boy.
Well, after you, Iris.
Why, that big oaf! He slammed the door in my face. Well, I'll give him what for.
Quiet, Iris. They're probably listening outside the door to see if we're mad. They'll be back. Hey, they're going off without us! Wait a minute! Wait a
Well, gosh, is a woman's place really in the home, or should she rebel? I don't know. But I do know this. Any woman can give her family swell treats to eat with Jell-O puddings and still have plenty of time left over to get out and around. For instance, here's a swell, elegant dish called orange Scotch pudding made with creamy, delicious Jell-O butterscotch pudding. Easy? Listen. Just prepare the pudding as usual. All you do is add milk, and it takes about 5 minutes to cook. Let it cool, then fold in a half a teaspoon of grated orange rind. Chill in a pretty serving bowl topped with fluffy whipped cream. Grandest dessert in a year of Sundays. Jell-O butterscotch pudding with that wonderful buttery brown sugar taste, flavored with tangy orange rind. All three Jell-O puddings are rich and distinctive with homemade goodness. Jell-O butterscotch, chocolate, and vanilla puddings. So get all three, a trio of treats. That name Jell-O is a registered trademark of General Foods.
J-E-L-L-O.
As we return to our little experiment on equal rights for women, we find that Liz and Iris, who have demanded these rights, have caught up with their husbands and, in fact, have just finished a bountiful dinner.
Meal like that deserves a good cigar. Care for a cigar, boy?
Yeah, thanks. Don't mind if I do.
Cigar, Iris?
Ha, ha.
Cigar, Liz?
Joke's over, Rudolph.
Thanks, Mr. Atterbury. Don't mind if I do.
Liz!
Who says women can't smoke cigars?
Well, Nobody says so, but they just don't.
Well, things are going to be different from now on.
Oh, now look.
No. Let her alone, boy. This should be interesting. Here you are, Liz.
Thank you. Smells good.
Yeah, it'll smell even better if you take the cellophane off.
Oh. Okay, what do I do now?
You bite off the end.
Wise guy, huh? Come on, what do I do now?
He's serious, Liz. You're supposed to bite off the end.
Oh, well, okay. There. Now give me a light, bud.
Hey, wait a minute, Liz. What did you do with the end of the cigar?
Huh?
What did you do with the end you bit off?
I swallowed it.
Oh, no, you're supposed to throw that little end away.
Well, it's a fine time to tell me. I thought the tip was the best part.
That's a cigar, not a piece of asparagus. Now, here's a light.
Thanks.
How is it, Liz? I think I'll try one.
Oh, it's great. Just great. There's nothing like a good cigar.
Liz, are you all right? Oh, it's great. Really great, Iris. Never mind. I just canceled my order. They are a little stronger than the chocolate ones I learned on.
Well, shall we go?
I think we're all finished. Care for anything else, Liz? A pipe, rub down, aftershave lotion?
Thank you, no.
Oh, waiter.
Yes, sir. Something else for you?
Could we have the check, please?
Yes, sir. I'll add it right away.
Make it 4 separate checks.
Yes, sir. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, you heard him. 4 separate checks.
Right away, sir.
Rudolph, what do you think you're doing?
Equal rights, Lotus Bud. Equal rights.
Well, I don't suppose you're going to pay for my dinner either, George.
And take away your constitutional freedom? Oh, I wouldn't do a thing like that to you, Liz.
Thanks. And I would order lobster thermidor instead of hamburger.
Well, here's my money, waiter.
Yes, sir.
And here's mine.
Iris, pay my check, will you?
Well, I came out without a cent. I'm going to have to put the bite on you for some money.
You took the bite right out of my mouth.
Well, don't you have any money either?
Not even mad money. George.
Yeah?
George, will you lend us some money on a strictly business basis?
Well, Mrs. Cooper, I don't handle the loan department. Let me refer you to the president of our bank, Mr. Atterbury.
We're dead.
Mr. Atterbury, this young lady would like to see you about a loan.
Oh, fine. The bank is always happy to make a loan to responsible people.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Atterbury.
You have some identification?
Oh, now, really?
Well, you have an honest face. I think the loan can be arranged.
I should hope so.
Just come down and see our credit manager first thing in the morning.
Well, Liz, now what do we do?
Madam, this check must be taken care of.
Keep your apron on, Bud. It will be. Just hand us a dish towel and lead us to the kitchen. Come on, Iris.
Gentlemen.
Gosh, I wish I could help them, don't you, George?
Yes, if they were poor, defenseless women, we could.
Aren't they women?
No.
What are they?
People.
Huh?
For goodness sake, sit down, boy. Stop pacing the floor.
Well, we've been home a long time, Mr. Atterbury, and the girls aren't here yet.
Don't worry. They'll be here soon, dragging their equal rights behind them. I think this should have taught them a lesson.
It was funny to see their faces as they marched off into the kitchen.
Yeah, with Iris rolling up the sleeves on her coat. Those mink are going to have dishpan paws tomorrow.
I can just see them.
Yeah, so can I. Oh, we're a couple of top-notch nasties, boy. Well, they asked for it.
Liz, we've been sitting here for an hour. The man gave us car fare. Let's go home.
No.
Well, what are we going to do, stay here all night?
I don't know. What would a man do in a case like this?
He'd go to a Turkish bath. Want to go?
He would not. He'd go out and have himself a gay old time, call up his wife and tell her he was working late.
If we use a nickel to call up, one of us will have to run home and back of the streetcar.
Iris, let's do it. We'll call up and give them a little of their own medicine. Come on.
Well, I don't get it, Liz.
I'll call up and tell them we're working late, and you make a noise in the background like a party is going on with men and women having a gay time.
How can I make a noise like that?
Force yourself. Here's the phone. Now, don't start till I give you the sign, remember.
Hello?
Hello, George.
Liz. It's the girls. Good. Are you finished? Do you want us to come down for you?
No, we're not finished, George. We're still working.
Oh, no kidding. Well, how long will it be?
Well, I just can't say, dear. There's a lot of work to be done. It piles up, you know. Go ahead, Iris.
See that? Iris, let's face it, you're gorgeous.
Well, I'll be home as soon as I can, George.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you sure you're working? What's all that noise in the background?
Hooray! Yahoo! What noise?
Come here, you.
That noise.
Oh, that. Well, those are just the dishwashers. Well, I have to go now, dear. The sinks are loaded.
Sounds like the dishwashers are, too. Are you sure you're washing dishes?
Wait a minute, dear. Quiet, fellas. Do you think my husband's stupid or something?
Oh, tell him to hang up. Come on, baby, let's dance.
Oh, stop. Well, goodbye, George.
Liz, where are you?
I'm working.
Liz, you come home this minute.
Baby, don't you think I'd rather be there with you than slaving down here?
Iris, let's face it. You're gorgeous.
Liz, I'm coming down to get you.
Well, we're not at the restaurant. We met a nice man who had some dishes to wash in his apartment.
What?
Well, you just stay there. We'll call you when we're through. Goodbye.
Liz! Liz!
Oh, Iris, he fell for her like a ton of bricks. Iris, where are you?
Looking for your friend?
Yeah, where'd she go?
The bartender put her out. She was plastered.
She was not. She was perfectly all right.
Sure. That's why she was hugging that palm tree and saying, let's face it, you're gorgeous.
George, will you please sit down? You're making me dizzy stalking back and forth.
Well, don't look.
What?
Well, don't look, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's been 2 hours since they phoned.
Well, I'm not worried. Don't you see what they're doing? Trying to get even with us for that dishwashing trick.
Yeah, but I heard party sounds in the background.
Imagination. Now, when they do come home, we'll really throw a scare into them.
How?
We'll give them an equal right. The right to get out and earn a living for the family while we go to tease and have our hair done.
Oh, that's real dirty.
Yeah, they couldn't take us up on it. In the meantime, you don't see me worrying about that party they're supposed to be on.
Oh, gee, I wish I had your control.
It's really wisdom, boy.
It's ringing, Liz.
Hello?
Rudolph, how are you?
Yippee! Come on, everybody! Come on! You got to put the
Iris?
I just wanted to tell you we're still working, honey. Listen, they're playing our song. Come here, Red. You fracture me.
Where are you?
Working, honey. In the office.
You haven't got an office. Iris, you get back here this minute. You're not fooling me. I know where you come on.
Goodbye, dear. I'll be there as soon as I can. Yippee! Red! Go, Iris!
All right, girls, outside.
Wait a minute. My husband is president of the Well, they're still here. I can smell their cigars. Or is that you? Don't mention that word.
Well, so here you are.
Yes, I'm so sorry that work took so long.
Well, this is a fine time to be getting home.
Well, you often get home this late. Equal rights, remember?
Oh, yes, we remember. In fact, we're all for it.
Well, we're tired of working, and you seem to enjoy it so much tonight that we're going to let you go out and earn the living for us.
Now, see here, Rudolph, that's going too far. I refuse.
Wait a minute, Iris. You don't either. We accept.
Well, Liz, it isn't fair.
Oh, yes, it is. Remember, George and Mr. Atterbury have to stay home and do the housework and the cooking.
Yeah.
Oh, now, wait a minute. This whole thing has gone too far. I refuse.
Boy, hold it. We accept. Why, we can do the housework and cooking with one potholder tied behind us.
What makes you so sure?
Well, I'll do exactly what you do. I'll loll around in a housecoat with my hair up in curlers, munching bonbons, and about 5 o'clock I'll yell, "Hilda, put something on for dinner!"
Yeah, and I can do the same thing with Katie. It's a deal.
Starting tomorrow?
Why not?
Okay. Oh, what's so funny?
Tomorrow's Thursday. It's Meg's day off.
Yes, Lucille. Do we travel tonight?
Do we travel tonight? Hold on tight, Robert. We're off for merry old England. A little roast beef music, Willie.
Well, here I am in England. Oh, pardon me. What town is this? Is it Nottingham-on-Thames?
No.
Is it Stratford-on-Avon?
What's that?
I said, is it Stratford-on-Avon?
No.
Well, what is it?
It's creeping up on commercial. You see, that's right near pudding on Jell-O.
Pudding on Jell-O?
Oh, that's very good. I wish I'd said that.
You just did.
Oh, pooh. I knew I'd heard it someplace.
Look, madam, I'd like to test your British sense of humor.
Oh, pip, pip, chitty-oh, here we go. Knock it.
All right, now listen. I'm looking at a picture of someone in my family. It's not my father, it's not my mother, it's not my sister, and it's not my brother. Who is it?
Oh, that's very good.
Just a second. Who is it?
Well, how should I know, old bean? You didn't show me the picture.
Oh, what's the use? It's a picture of me.
Oh, I thought it might have something to do with Jell-O puddings. Let me try it on my friend here. Oh, Clement.
Yes, did you call me?
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of a relative, you see. It's not my father, it's not my mother, it's not my sister, nor my brother. Who is it?
It's you.
No, it isn't. It's him.
Yes, of course. How stupid of me. Stupid. Yes. But now, stupid. Yes. But now, I have one for you. What puddings are a trio of treats, nourishing and a swell dessert for the kids?
Well got up. Give me a hint.
The answer is Jell-O puddings. Jell-O chocolate pudding, delicious with deep down chocolatey goodness. Jell-O butterscotch pudding with that buttery brown sugar flavor. And Jell-O vanilla pudding, rich and smooth as cream.
These Americans know everything. Cut him dead.
Now, riddle me this. All you do is add milk, and Jell-O puddings take only about 5 minutes to cook to velvety rich perfection.
Splendid, splendid.
I don't think that's much of a riddle.
I know, you blasted colonial, but it keeps us working. Good night.
Be sure to listen to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband again next week, presented by
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
Yes, sirree. Yum, yum, yum. J-E-L-L-O.
Transcribed over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Wind down. Let's get to the next episode. Alright, so if you like vintage radio shows, then you're going to love midcenturygallery.com. They have tons of wonderful vintage and antique items. And if you want a 20% off discount, make sure you type in Dawn20 when you go to checkout. And instant discount. Fine arts and some that I'd say it's left up to interpretation, but wonderful arts, clothing, sculptures, toys, weapons, things that you can't get on eBay anymore. Make sure you go to midcenturygallery.com. And I also have to do a throw out there for my favorite podcast. Just go visit the Smodcast universe. My favorite so far, of course, is Hollywood Babylon with Ralph Garman and Kevin Smith. They are awesome. It reminds me of the old time, I would say, Rat Pack era type shows that they used to do. Not that I would know because it was before I was even born, but make sure you go there. It's great entertainment. Sometimes it can be a little raunchy and vulgar, but you get over it quickly. You don't even notice it. I stopped noticing it. And I'm very particular when it comes to that kind of entertainment. If you like something a little less, make sure you look up Kevin and Bean Show. Again, Ralph Garman does the Hollywood beat on that show. It's, again, great entertainment. And then, of course, Tell him Steve Dave. So those are my plugins. Of course, I'm not seeing anything from just doing a shout out for those guys, but they make me happy. Hopefully they'll make you happy too. Hopefully these shows make you happy. They're always going to be free to you. I will always air the Clitheroe Kid and My Favorite Husband on Monday nights. When it runs out, then perhaps I'll find something new to broadcast. But there's so much material, and it's such a great era. I hope you appreciate it as much as I do. So on to the next and final broadcast tonight. It is My Favorite Husband, the Women's Rights, if I can speak, Part 2, Part D. Here you go. Enjoy. And then I'll say a brief goodbye after the show, and we can all be on our way to Slumberland.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Jello, everybody.
Yes, it's the Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, transcribed and brought to you by the Jello family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jello family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jello family. That's Jello.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jello pudding.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jello tapioca puddings, yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. As we look in on the Coopers tonight, we see a story unfolding. A story that started last week when the Coopers and the Atterberries had a discussion on the proposed constitutional amendment granting women equal rights. Liz said,
Iris and I demand equal rights. We want to be treated just as though we were men.
Iris said,
Yeah.
Mr. Atterbury, George's boss, said,
All right, Liz, boy. George and I are tired of earning a living. Starting tomorrow, you two can go out and earn the money, and we'll stay home and watch after the house.
George said,
Yeah.
Liz said,
Okay, that's a deal, and I want this house spotless.
Yes, sir. I'll tell Katie, just like you do. Anything else?
Yes, I want dinner ready on time.
Yes, sir. I'll tell Katie. Anything else?
Yes, roll up your sleeves and put on your apron. It's Katie's day off.
Oh, gad! I suppose it's Hilda's day off, too.
Yeah!
And now it's the morning of the great experiment. George, the housewife, is cooking breakfast, while Liz, the wage earner, is seated at the table, her head buried in the newspaper, waiting to give George the same kind of treatment that he gives her every morning.
Here's your coffee, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is it all right?
Yes, dear.
Put that paper down and talk to me.
Oh, no. I've waited too long for this moment. How do you like speaking to the back page of a newspaper?
All right. Now, you've had your fun. Is the breakfast all right?
No, the coffee's miserable. It's much too strong.
How do you know? You haven't even tasted it.
I don't have to taste it. I can see how strong it is.
How?
George, when you drop a lump of sugar in a cup of coffee, it's supposed to sink.
Oh, there's Mr. Atterbury. I'm late for work.
Hey, tighten your bathrobe, Buster. That's Mrs. Atterbury, and I'm late. Goodbye, dear.
Liz? Aren't you going to kiss me goodbye?
Oh, here. Now have dinner ready on time and have enough because I may bring home some company, and you know how I always forget to call. Goodbye, George. Hi, Iris.
Hi, fellow businessman.
Well, we're off to make a living.
Yeah. What's the first thing we do?
Let's go someplace and have breakfast.
Couldn't you eat anything that George fixed either?
Ha! He boiled the bacon, burned the eggs, and the coffee was so thick I couldn't get my spoon out of it.
You're lucky. Rudolph staggered downstairs with his eyes closed, opened a box of steel wool instead of breakfast food, covered it with a rotten banana, said here, and went back to bed.
Oh, come on, let's go eat. Want another donut, Iris?
Oh, no, thanks. If we expect to get a job, we better start looking through the want ads.
Okay.
Here it is. Help wanted. Beauty operator, accountant, dental technician, registered nurse.
How do you like that? Apparently you can't get a job unless you know how to do something.
Just like you said, Liz, women don't have equal rights.
Not even with other women.
Oh, here's one. We need women.
Oh, we can do that.
There's more.
Oh.
We need women. No experience necessary. Must be attractive and... under 25.
Oh, that lets you out, doesn't it?
Lets me out. What about you?
Oh, I wouldn't take the job without you, Iris.
Elizabeth Cooper, are you trying to tell me you're under 25? Me, who's known you since the first year you were 28?
Well, I meant I could pass as 25.
Well, if you could, I could. Let's go down and try out for the job. What is it?
Let's see. Living statues at the Follies Theater.
Well, what else is there?
Hey, what are we looking at the want ads for? George always says that smart people go in business for themselves. Let's open our own Follies Theater.
Well, I don't think the town could support two of them.
Well, ours will be different. We'll have chorus boys instead of chorus girls. And the first row will be reserved for bald-headed women.
Liz.
What?
No.
Why not?
I just had a quick vision of Rudolph as a living statue. Now, look, Liz, it's 10 o'clock and we haven't earned a dime.
Oh, here's an ad for an employment agency.
Well, what's it say?
Ready to go to work? Need a job? Unemployment insurance run out? We'll put you on a payroll. We haven't missed in 25 years.
Well, come on, Liz, let's go there.
Okay, but I have a feeling we're going to spoil a beautiful record.
Hello?
Hello? This is Mary Margaret McAtterbury. Is Prudence Cooper home?
Speaking.
How are you doing with the housework, boy?
That's not too bad. The toughest job so far was the breakfast dishes. They took forever.
Funny, mine only took me a couple of seconds.
You have an electric dishwasher?
No, I was carrying them in from the breakfast room and I tripped.
It wasn't Iris's good china, was it?
No. Some old stuff she hardly ever uses called Haviland.
Well, that was lucky for you. Say, have you done your laundry yet?
No, I was sort of afraid to try. Have you?
Yeah, there's nothing to it. I washed out a few of Liz's dainties.
Well, how did they turn out?
Oh, pretty good, but I think I got too much starch in the petticoats.
Oh? How can you tell?
Well, when I try to fold them, they break in half.
That's an indication.
Yeah, so I only put half as much starch in their silk stockings.
Are you supposed to put starch in stockings?
Oh, sure, it works great. Oh, you don't even have to hang them up. You just stand them in a corner.
Well, look, Prudence, I have to go. There's someone at the door.
I'll call you later, dearie.
Do that, hon. Bye.
Good morning, ladies. Welcome to the Sheridan Falls Employment Agency. Have a chair. You wish to hire someone?
No, we're looking for a job.
Oh, go over there and fill out a form.
Boy, it sure got cold in here all of a sudden. What kind of jobs do you have open?
What do you do?
What kind of jobs do you have open?
What do you do?
What kind of jobs do you have open?
You go first this time.
All right, what do you do?
What kind of jobs do you have? No!
The only thing we ask is that we work together.
All right, but tell me what you do. If you're stenographers, maybe I can find someone with a big lap and you can each sit on one knee.
Well, what kind of jobs do you have open?
Gee, I wish I'd said that.
Well, let's try to get some facts down. What are your names?
Don't give your real name, Liz.
What's your name? Well, don't you know your name?
I'll get it. I know it as well as I know my... Oh, no, that doesn't make sense. Bridget McGonigal.
Bridget How do you spell that?
M. O'Brien. My mother married again.
Huh? And what's your name?
McGonigal.
Iris.
Iris McGonigal?
Well, all right.
Don't do me any favors.
You see, she's a half-sister by my first mother's second husband.
Nice going, Liz.
And so far, we have Liz Bridget McGonigal O'Brien and Iris McGonigal. Now, what are your qualifications?
What
jobs
job
do you have open? Let's try it this way. What was your last job?
With Mr. George Cooper. I haven't left yet.
What do you do for Mr. Cooper?
Well, it's a very interesting job. I sleep late, and then I come downstairs, and the maid gives me breakfast, and I loll around the house till he comes home, and then we go out together.
And why do you want to make a change?
No chance for advancement.
Yes. I have very few jobs like that, but I'll tell you what. You go over to the blackboard. We list all the available positions there. Now, if you find something you can do, let me know.
Gee. Look, Liz, there are lots of jobs listed. Short order cook?
No.
Western Union boy?
I can't ride a bicycle.
Japanese gardener?
Oh, so sorry, but get hands all dirty.
Electrician? Carpenter? Steam fitter?
What's a steam fitter do?
I don't know. I guess he fits steam.
That's funny. I didn't even know steam came in sizes. Well, we'll find something. Shoe salesman, furniture repairman for moving company, plumber's helper. Deep dive.
Well, if Liz turns into the breadwinner of the family, I guess George better take up housework and cooking. And I can give him many a helpful hint on swell things to eat. For instance, here's a honey of a new dessert, so easy even George could make it. It's called Honey Jell-O, and here's what you do. Use any of those 6 delicious Jell-O flavors, strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, or lime. Dissolve in 2 cups of hot water, add 1 tablespoon of honey, and chill. Garnish with whipped cream sweetened with honey. It's a delectable combination. Fruit-like, shimmering Jell-O flavored with golden honey and topped with foamy whipped cream. That wonderful locked-in flavor of Jell-O tastes so rich and refreshing, it makes you think of the real ripe fruit. And that's why Jell-O is America's favorite gelatin dessert. So look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O, and Jell-O spells a treat. That name is a registered trademark of General Foods.
Jell-O.
And now back to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband. As we return to the Coopers, we find our two intrepid would-be wage earners still reading off the list of available jobs on the employment agency blackboard.
Exterminator.
Tombstone cutter.
Lighthouse keeper. That might be something.
What are you talking about?
Well, when we got married, George and I set up light housekeeping.
This is no time for forced humor.
All right.
Streetcar conductor.
Master of ceremonies for laundromat.
Cabinet maker's apprentice. Drooler for front of donut window.
Are you girls still here?
Yeah, we haven't found anything we can do, but it's certainly fascinating reading.
You know, I do have a job where I can use both of you.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's a cinch. All you have to do is just stand absolutely still.
What is it, a television commercial for Forest Lawn?
No, it's with a carnival, part of a knife-throwing act.
What part?
Now, listen, you wanted a job. Where else can you get $10 a day for letting a guy miss you with knives?
Iris?
No.
But the man's an expert. I've done business with him for years.
See, Iris?
I send him 3 or 4 girls a week.
Come on, Iris, back to the blackboard. Tailor, steeplejack, coal miner, fish breeder, toupee maker, die caster, cast dyer, snake charmer.
Hello?
Mary Margaret? This is Prudence again.
Well, make it snappy, Prue. I'm making spaghetti, and I'm up to my waist in paste.
Do you know anything about rice?
I remember it was thrown at me on one of the darkest days of my life.
No, I don't mean that. I'm boiling some rice for dinner, and I don't know if I put enough in.
How much did you use?
A 1-pound package.
For 2 of you?
Huh.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I guess it swells up a little. Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Something's pushing the kitchen door open. Holy cow, it's the rice!
Oh, it can't be.
It is. Our kitchen looks like Sun Valley.
Hold it back, boy. I'll be right over. Oh, and I'll bring some raisins.
Raisins? What for?
Well, if we can't clean it up, we'll make the biggest rice pudding you've ever seen.
Xylophonist, zither maker, pin feather plucker and chicken factory. Oh, it's no use, Liz. We won't get a job. We'll just have to go home and eat crow.
Do you think that's what they fix for dinner?
You girls still here? Look, why don't you go home, and if anything comes up... pardon me. Sheridan Falls Employment Agency.
Say, we've had a little accident. Could you send a house cleaning crew out right away?
Well, I've only got one of my regular cleaning ladies, but... wait a minute. Hey, you two.
Yes?
I think I may have a job for you.
We'll take it.
Sure, what is it?
General housework, part of a crew of cleaning ladies.
Housework? I could have stayed home and done that.
Iris, we can't be choosy. We've got to make some money today or we'll never hear the end of it.
We'll
take it.
Good. I'll send you out with one of my regulars. Hello?
Yes?
Oh, you're in luck, mister. 2 more of our best scrub ladies just checked in.
Good. The address is 321 Bundy Drive.
They're on their way right now.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, you two, it's all set. I'll call Blanche and you can get going.
Who's Blanche?
Oh, she's one of our best cleaning women. A sweet, lovable character. You'll get along fine. She's got her own car.
When do we get there, Blanche? She can't hear you, Liz. What? She can't hear you. I wasn't talking to you.
You say something to me?
When do we get there?
I can't hear you.
Never mind. What? Never mind.
Any minute now.
Iris, I'm worried. This is our own neighborhood. I hope nobody sees.
What are you yelling for? You deep or something? Well, here's the place, 321 Bundy Drive.
Iris, it's my house. We can't go in there, Blanche. We quit.
You what?
We quit. Yeah, get someone else.
Now, look, sister, I need the dough from this job, and if you don't work, I don't work. You're coming in with me, or else.
Or else what?
Or else you'll be wearing an off-the-face scrub bucket in the Easter parade.
Well, if you're going to use logic.
Liz, maybe Rudolph and George aren't here.
Oh, come to think of it, Iris, I wonder what's happened that they have to have someone clean it up.
They said they'd leave the side door open.
See? There's nobody here, thank goodness. Well, come on, let's hurry and get it done.
Oh, what's the rush? I like to look around when I get in a strange house.
Oh, I don't imagine you very often get into a house like this, huh, Blanche?
No, I should say not. It's a real eyesore, ain't it?
What?
Can you imagine having to live with this stuff?
Yes, I can.
Well, if you don't know no better, we're supposed to start in the... Look at that mess. What is it?
It looks like rice. Oh, it is rice. All the way into the middle of the dining room.
Oh, what kind of a pig would keep a sty like this?
I'll tell you what kind of a...
Now, Liz, please, let's get this finished and get out of here.
Oh, all right.
What was that?
Those stockings in the kitchen fell over. They were standing up.
The cleaning women must be here, George.
I hope so.
Oh, they're here. Hand me a brush. I'll start scrubbing under this table.
Okay.
On the carpet?
I don't have time to go anyplace else.
Neither do I. I'll help you, Liz. Move over.
Scrape some rice over my way. Give me some rice.
Now, listen, you two. That's
Hello there. You must be the cleaning women, huh?
Yep, I'm Blanche.
Well, look, we want this all cleaned up. See, if our wives find out about it, they'll kill us.
He can say that again.
Now, after you get through here, go over to my house. I came over to help him with the rice, and I left the iron on. The fireman left quite a mess.
Burn the ironing board, huh?
Well, I couldn't find the ironing board. I was using the top of the piano.
Well, don't worry. We'll clean it up for you.
We?
Oh, yeah, me and my two assistants. They're down on their hands and knees. You can just see them sticking out from under the table.
Iris! Iris? Certainly. I recognize her shoes.
Liz Cooper, is that you?
What's going on around here? Speak up, you two.
Oh, so very good rice. Very good. Clean him up. Quick, chop, chop. Oh, you bet. You bet. Hot kimono.
Iris, and I do mean lotus bud.
Liz, come out from there.
Nobody here but us Chinese club ladies.
Grab those legs, George.
Come on.
Out you come, Iris. Come on.
Rudolph.
There. Now, Ming Toy, what's going on?
What about that rice, George Cooper?
A fine way for you to act, Iris.
I didn't burn any holes in the piano.
Yeah, at least we were working.
Yes.
Well, that was an accident. I was trying to read the mind.
We really
Now,
tried.
wait. Just a minute.
This is no way to act. Fighting and trying to deceive each other. As a matter of fact, George and I decided something this afternoon.
What?
Well, tell him, George.
Well, we don't like doing housework.
Well, as long as we're being honest, Iris and I aren't exactly crazy about earning the living either. It's tough.
Well, shall we go back the way we were?
Okay by me.
Hey, wait a minute. What about equal rights for women?
Kiss me, master.
Come here, slave.
Same thing go for us, Iris.
You know it does.
Kiss me, master.
Come here, slave.
What about me, master? Clean up the rice, slave.
Yes, Lucille, where do we travel tonight?
No place, Robert. We stay right here and interview a lady wrestler. A little lady wrestling music, maestro.
Here's the dressing room of Leaping Lucy, the lady wrestler I'm supposed to interview.
Hello there.
Hello. I'm here on behalf of General Foods.
Say, you're cute. Want to wrestle?
No, you see, I have to interview you.
Come here, you. Oh, boy, you fracture me.
Now, about this interview.
Want to wrestle?
Now, just a minute. What about General Foods?
Well, what about him? I'll wrestle him anytime. Bring him on.
No, I'm talking about our radio interview. Now, I'll start by saying, Lucy, they tell me you train exclusively on Jell-O.
I don't think you'll get a laugh with it.
Well, nevertheless, that's the first line. After that, what do you say?
Want to wrestle?
No, now look, here's your script. Read it. Can you read?
Why, sure. Let's see now. J-E-L-L-O.
All right, what does that spell?
That's a tough one, ain't it?
It's Jell-O.
Oh, Jell-O. Oh, Jell-O comes in 6 delicious flavors.
Berry.
Raspberry.
Now, what comes next?
Cherry berry. Cherry berry sounds like a song. Cherry berry bean. Why don't you sing it? Don't mind if I do. Cherry berry bean. Cherry berry bean.
Wait a minute. Lucy.
What?
Look, it's strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
Oh.
All right, what's next?
Let's wrestle.
No, it continues like this. Jell-O is so good, it makes you think of the real ripe fruit itself.
Is that so?
And the flavor is locked in. The flavor is locked in, so it can't get out till your first delicious spoonful.
No.
Then we finish up. Look for the big red letters on the what?
Big red letters on the what? And they think I'm punchy.
I'm asking you, look for the big red letters on the...
I give up.
Box!
No, let's wrestle.
You have been listening to My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning. Watch for the April issue of Radio Mirror magazine, the one with the big picture of Lucille Ball on the cover. It tells the details of an exciting new My Favorite Husband contest. Get Radio Mirror for April. And be sure to listen to Lucille Ball and My Favorite Husband again next week, presented by
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O pudding.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O tapioca pudding. Yes, sirree.
Bob Lamont speaking.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
So there you go. That's it. Thank you for tuning in on this Monday evening, and I hope you join me again on Friday night and perhaps an evening in between. This is Geek Radio, G-H-I-C. Yeah, I decided that's the name of the broadcast, Geek Radio. Although I hope I don't have to explain it each and every time. So enjoy your day or evening, depending on when you're listening to it, live or recorded. Again, Don Masuoka, Geek Radio. Go to midcentury.com, enter the code DON20. Although it does not pay for this broadcast in any way, shape, or form, it does help me out. So do it if you love me. Good night. Be well. If you're in the area that has been hit by the horrible storms, then how are you listening to me? If you're not one of the people who have been hit by one of the horrible storms, make sure that you donate blood, money, go out there, help pick up the pieces. You're needed. Love you. Peace out.